Here.
Mr. Ceresi?
Here.
Ms. McFerrin?
Here.
Mrs. Stauffer?
Here.
Mr. Roden? Mr. Fury? Mr. Steele?
Okay. Next, we will have the invocation and the pledge led by Mr. Ceresi.
Father, we seek your guidance for the business that is before us. In planning for the future of the city of Twinsburg, give us vision. Guide us to make decisions that are not self-serving, but are for the betterment of our community, so we can continue in a positive direction. Amen. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next, we have approval of minutes from our February 9th meeting as well as our February 23rd meeting. Anybody have any questions or changes or additions to either one of those minutes? Good. Hearing none, then the minutes will stand as written, approved as written. Audience participation. Shannon.
Yes. First, we have Lisa Turner.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. My name is Lisa Turner, and I'm a resident of Ward 1. I'm 1565 Lansdale Circle. I was recently elected the president of the Parks and Rec Commission board, and I'm here tonight to share some things with you that happened at our meeting on February 25th. I'd like to come in maybe every 3 months or something and just kind of give everybody an update on things that are going on. We made 2 motions at our meeting on February 25th. We made a motion to you that we would like bocce ball courts up at the Glen Eagles course. And the gentleman who's in Ward 1 is very excited about bocce ball. And he gave us lots of reasons about why bocce ball would be so great. And, you know, we pride ourselves on activity in the city. We've got a lot of things coming up, and I think the golf course would be a great place to have it. So we did that. And then we also made another motion to have 6 meetings a year instead of 4. We currently have 4. I guess maybe we used to have 10 or 8 or something, and then we went down to 4, but we'd like 6. So we made a motion. It would be an additional expense, although. So we did that as well. The indoor pool is doing a lot of things. We have some new swimming programs. We've got a spring TCAP program rolling out, which is a competitive swim club for Twinsburg. And those new classes for the spring are signing up now and start April 4th. And then Summer Rec, also swimming, starts April 4th for sign-ups too for residents. And the indoor pool, we're looking at the hot tub's not working right now at the indoor pool at the fitness center. And right now it's kind of used as a soaking tub. So we're looking at, you know, are we going to repair it? Are we going to replace it? Are we going to demolish it? What are we going to do? Because currently right now the hot tub sits here, but the pipes are 90 feet away. It's a 90-foot, you know, piping to the other side, and it's leaking and all these things. So there's some things we're going to work on with that. Also, the indoor rec is now 24/7. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for $7 a month, and it's going very well. It's highly successful, so that's good. At the outdoor pool, we made a motion to council. We're interested in getting a liquor license for the outdoor pool. Many residents are interested in that, so we're bringing that to you as well. Maybe, you know, getting revenue, right, more revenue, and maybe paying for the fence from that revenue, and or upgrading things at the pool, or maybe taking some of that money and doing some things at the indoor pool, because now we have lots of swim meets and things there, and there's some things that we're lacking, and we need to get up to snuff, so maybe we could use some of that revenue from the sales there. And at swim meets, actually, around town, there are a lot of swim meets that have alcohol at the swim meets. So that's another thing. And, of course, we have it at the golf course. So, you know. And then if you join the outdoor pool in the month of March, you get 5 free passes. So if you join now in the month of March, you'll get 5 free passes. One thing that we're working on as well is going to be Share the Road Bike Week. And it's May 16th to the 20th. And y'all can ride your bike to work day on May 20th. And we're working on getting a lot of signage out in Twinsburg and trying to connect everything in the town. And so that's going to be really exciting. We're working on some things with that. I've talked to Dr. Laura Edelman, and I'm hoping that she's going to donate a bike for a raffle prize giveaway for that. So that would be pretty great as well. The farmers market is coming back, and that's exciting. Everybody's coming back, and that's going to be really great. Rock the Park is as big as bad as ever. It's always doing well, Rock the Park, and is a lot of fun. And I know we're going to have another stellar year of that. And I just wanted the residents to know that, you know, we've got this amazing rec center, this outdoor pool, golf course, you know, park system. You know, go out and enjoy it. We're here for you at the Parks and Rec, you know, board. If you have any suggestions or anything, there's somebody, you know, each in your ward. And, you know, we just like you to enjoy everything. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon, anybody else?
There is none.
Okay, thank you. No awards I see in presentations. Okay, Council of Communication Committee reports. Mr. Ceresi.
I've had no meetings, nothing to report. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. McFerrin.
Okay, so Lisa's updated us on part of the Parks and Recreation meeting that I recently attended. I guess at this point, I'm going to also reiterate that they discussed that they would like to make the recommendation to consider bocce ball courts at the golf course.
That's okay. Go ahead.
And that they asked us to add that to a future agenda for the Golf Advisory Committee. And also, I wanted to make a motion to add 2 additional meetings for the Parks and Recreation Committee for 2016. So at this time, I'd like to make that motion and ask if anyone would second it.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
I know this is something that we talked about at length, and I think Parks and Rec, you know, and I've talked to a couple members about that commission. It used to be back when the city was not funding anything. It was a very visionary type committee because that's all we had to do. But it's become a very focused on current programming, and so I guess hopefully those couple of meetings will allow the board to then kind of sit back and focus on some more visionary stuff that could come out of Parks and Rec as we take a look at all the amenities that we offer. So that was one of the reasons that I'd like to support the additional meetings to allow them that time to do that.
Okay. You got a second, right?
Yep.
Shannon, call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer. Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Ceresi?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes. Anything else?
No, not at this time.
That's it? Okay. My committees have not met as well. We will be having a Finance Committee meeting, though, April 12th. That's 4 weeks from today at our first meeting in April, and that'll be at 6 o'clock. Right? And that's it. We'll move on to Mrs. Stoffer.
BZA meeting was canceled for tomorrow, so I have not had a meeting. Community Relations is scheduled for Thursday, March 10th at 5:30 at the Board of Education office. That's all I have.
Okay. Next, we'll move on to the mayor's report.
All right. Thank you. We've had some beautiful weather here, and so I'm just want to announce the golf course has opened officially today. So this was it's been a very good season for the golf course. I think we shut down on December 26th, and we officially opened today. And I contacted Brian over there, and I guess they were fairly packed. He was running crazy and couldn't talk to me, so he pretty much hung up on me and kept working. So that's a good thing. The course is open, and they were able to cut the green, so it hopefully will be an early start to a good spring for us there. The 24-hour fitness center is doing well. I've used my key fob and accessed it early in the weekends, and I think it's a great addition to that facility, and hopefully will continue to grow. I just wanted to talk, I received today, and we don't spend much time complimenting them, but Cable 9's annual report, which had a lot of pictures and a lot of data about the work they do in all the communities, and I guess I just want to thank Jeff Cole and his staff for the work they do. We kind of take them for granted, and all the information and the programming they get out to our residents, so I just wanted to do that today. I did attend the District Advisory Council meeting. This is a county combined health district. I did attend that, I believe, yesterday. My days are getting long, but I know Miss Williams was there. So that was a good meeting for me. First time I'd attended that, supported by a lot of mayors and trustees and representatives from a lot of the communities in Summit County. So I'll continue to be active in that as we move forward. The Environmental Commission, I know Seth is not here this evening, so I just want to give a quick update on Earth Day. Earth Day, again, is planned for April 22nd. I met with Ms. Walker at the Environmental Commission, and we talked a lot about some of the planning she has. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big program this year. The time has moved. We've, in the past, done this during the day, and we're moving it to evening hours. So from, say, 4 o'clock to 7, I believe, is the time we've picked, so that we can pick up kids that have now out of school, a lot of the traffic that comes through the fitness center in the evening, and we'll have to decide whether we continue to do that in the front lobby area or in a court, depending on how the programming goes and whether we can get a court or not. But there will be a hybrid car exhibit. There's going to be an origami demo by the library. There's going to be free seedlings and seed packets, face painting. They're going to look at maybe collecting some canned goods and paper products for a local hunger shelter. So there's a lot of activities going on. They're continuing to plan it, but I just want to go ahead and announce that date for everyone. And then tomorrow, I will be doing my State of the City for the seniors. So if there's any seniors that, I'm not sure how quick this gets out, but I will be there tomorrow at 9:30 doing the State of the City. And that is all I have to report.
Okay. Department heads?
And yeah, we have department heads. I'll start with, I think we can start with Chris.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. The Service Department is winding down winter operations, and to date we have responded to 12 snow and ice events, down considerably. We usually get into 30s, so that's, and if you look at the numbers, overtime, fuel, and salt, we have saved about $232,000. So unfortunately, I can't take credit for that. That was weather driven, so, but we'll take that savings. Additionally, we are finalizing some of our building maintenance projects. We're working in the PD, the community center, the fitness center. We're looking at a project in the fire department, and we're trying to get those projects done because we are scheduled to come back from shifts on Monday, March 28th. When we do come back, when we bring those people back and start our day shift, we're also going to start up an afternoon shift. We will have 2 full-time employees on that shift, along with, we're going to try to get 2 or 3 seasonal employees to be on that shift. And the main focus will be our parks, maintaining the parks in the evenings. You have a lot of picnic shelter rentals and a lot of things going on in the parks, and we want to make sure we've got plenty of coverage to keep those places clean, the bathrooms clean, and just offer any assistance to people that are using those facilities. So we've tried to do that in the past with strictly seasonal help, and it's not worked out that well. So we're going to start that up the first or second week in April, and we're looking for some good things there. Also related to the weather, we have patched a total of 738 potholes this year. Last year at this time, we had patched 7,911. So between the weather and the work Amy has done, we're looking real good with these roadways. The good weather that we've had this winter has also allowed us to go full bore with tree pruning, and it's a new program for us. I mean, we've done it in the past, limited, but they really went after it this year, and they've done hundreds of trees. And it's we have an arborist on staff now, and one of the people that existing staff, Jeff Naparowski, our gardener, he became certified. So we're relying on him for a lot of this tree pruning. He really has done a great job. So that program's really taken off. So we will continue on with that. And we also have assumed some of the animal control responsibilities. So the guys are out there doing some limited things there. And we will expand that program later on this year. So, and that's my report.
Hey, Chris, I have a question. Just out of curiosity, I believe you're on the CUE program for salt.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And your quantity that you guaranteed, that we have to purchase the 90%?
Yeah.
Do you have room for that purchase?
We are within 1,900 tons.
Really?
And our bin is down about 900. We think we can squeeze 1,000 tons in there. And I'm going to have about 800 or 900 tons to store on site. And we think between the wastewater department and some other areas, we think we're going to be able to take delivery on that.
Got it. Do you have it dumped or do you have it piled in?
Well, we normally have it conveyed.
Okay.
But if we go over with 800 or 900 tons to wastewater, we'll probably have it just dumped.
Got it.
I believe Mr. Scafidi has an empty bay in his garage. If we
I've got two of my own cities that I got to find somewhere to put salt. That's why I was asking you. Maybe you had some room to help me out.
Salt?
I got two little villages that need storage space somewhere. Okay.
So we're doing pretty good. That's why I reported on the savings, because until now, I saw the savings, but it was like, if I got to buy this salt.
Yeah. Got it.
So we're looking pretty good.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so Chief Morgan.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. In the
Evening.
month of February, the fire department responded to 218 calls for service. For the year, that's 402 calls. It's down 10% from last year at this point, but we've closed the gap from January. January was a relatively slow month. A couple notable events through the month of February. On the 12th, we had a structure fire in a home on Serene Court. Our personnel, with assistance from Oakwood and Macedonia fire departments, extinguished the fire pretty quickly. The actual fire damage limited to one room, but unfortunately smoke and heat damaged much of the rest of the house. With the help of Hudson EMS, we evaluated the residents of the home, but no one was transported to the hospital. 2 days later, we responded to Hudson to assist them with a house fire in the morning, and later that afternoon we responded to Reminderville and helped them with a house fire. So a little bit of give and take there. And then on the 25th, as many of you are probably aware, on I-480 we spent 2 hours cutting a guy out of his rollover garbage truck or dumpster truck, again with the assistance of the Streetsboro Fire Department. It was a kind of a lengthy ordeal as the truck was on its side on an embankment that was wet and sloppy, smashed up against a tree, so it was kind of hard to cut him out. But the guys worked well together, and unfortunately the city had to deal with the traffic issue for a couple hours, but I think that subsided pretty quickly once we got the 480 opened up again. And just wanted to bring, again, the back and forth of mutual aid between communities. On the 29th of February, Streetsboro requested mutual aid from us for a fatal house fire that they had in their community, but we were unable to respond because we were busy with our own calls. So that's the nature of mutual aid. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Fire prevention, we completed 100 and 18 inspections during the course of the month of February. And there were also 2 fire investigations that were completed. We had 26 public education events during the course of the month, which made 651 personal contacts through those 26 classes, mostly in the schools. And we had 138 training events through the course of the month, totaling 324 hours of training for our personnel. The weather warning sirens functioned properly on their test on March 5th. And I was happy to go over to Northfield Center Township trustees meeting last night to accept a proclamation from their trustees for our assistance to them on January 11th for the fatal house fire that occurred in their community. And I just wanted to note that you might not see Assistant Chief Basso around for the next several weeks. He's having knee replacement surgery tomorrow. So thoughts and prayers to him as he's convalescing. So that's my report for this evening.
Chief, I have a question for you.
Yes.
In light of the unfortunate apartment fire in Brunswick today that took the life of that child, as well as put several people out of a home, I listened to the Assistant Chief Barber say that had they had a sprinkler system, that could have been avoided. There was no sprinklers in that building because it was sprinkler requirement. There were smoke detectors, though. Do you know if we have any apartments in our city that are similar to that, and can you now make them put sprinkler systems in?
There are a number of the apartment complexes in Twinsburg are unsprinkled. Generally speaking, the only time that you can force them to making those upgrades is if they do significant remodeling or reconfiguring of the structure. Otherwise, it's...
So now it would be a requirement. If they were to do that, they couldn't do it without sprinkling the building.
Unless, of course, we pass our own ordinance within the city making it a requirement. But still, that would be dependent upon them doing upgrades to their structures.
Got it. Okay. So there are several that don't have sprinkler systems here in town.
That's correct.
Wow.
We have
Okay.
a school that doesn't have sprinklers.
School doesn't either?
Dodge doesn't.
Wow. Schools don't either. Wow. Okay.
That's not very comforting.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Sorry.
Don't worry. That needs to be taken
Bring a water
care of.
bottle with you.
Chief Noga?
Good evening. During the month of February, the City of Twinsburg Communications Center generated 2,040 calls for service among the Twinsburg Police and Fire Departments and the Reminderville Police and Fire Departments. The total call count for the year is 4,134. Twinsburg police officers arrested and or cited 117 suspects into court on 163 different counts. Twinsburg officers issued 158 written warnings and 15 parking citations. And our officers investigated 37 traffic crashes, of which 7 were injury crashes, 9 were on private property, and none were fatal. And that's all I have this month.
Chief, quick question.
Sorry,
I'm so chatty tonight. I guess I'm unloading like Amy. The no truck signs. Okay. From what I understand, they seem to be working, and I know you put additional ones up on Ravenna Road.
Yes.
However, I'm still being asked about any legislation or that may come forward. Can you tell me where we're at?
And Mr. Maestros and I are still in discussion about some of the legal issues that we've kind of observed and looked into as we've been going through it. So
okay,
hopefully very soon.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Ms. House.
Good evening, everyone. Just have 2 things to report. We conducted a subpoena program last year, and we had the report as a result of that. 1,630 letters went out for collection, and what they collected from 165,000 that was owed, we collected on the day of that we conducted the subpoena program, 34,087, and then the balance of it, they worked out payment plans for that. So that's just an update on the subpoena program. We also was requested to give a large refund. This refund goes back to about 2.5 years. They came right at the threshold. It was the one pending one that was kind of discussed. We didn't know if they were going to do a final completion. They did receive the audit, and they confirmed it. Regional Income Tax did confirm that indeed the amount was due to them, and as a result, for this first advance distribution, we're down by 30%. The refund was over $700,000, so it is reflective in this first advance. So I'll have a full report when we get the second distribution for this month, and that's all I have to report.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
it?
all we have.
Okay. Then we will move on to the legislation portion of our meeting. We have ordinance 22, 2016.
An ordinance amending the current year appropriations for the various special revenue accounts as established in Ordinance 06, 2016, the appropriation ordinance of the City of Twinsburg for the year 2016.
Okay, and that'll be its first reading. Next, we have ordinance 23, 2016.
An ordinance accepting the bid of Fabrizi Trekking and Paving Company for the roadway and sewer improvements in the Rolling Acres subdivision.
Okay, and that as well as its first reading tonight. Resolution 24, 2016.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the city's share of funding for the State Route 82 resurfacing project.
Okay, I would like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 24, 2016. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sorese, is there any further discussion? Okay, Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 24, 2016 passes 4-0. Ordinance 25, 2016.
An ordinance authorizing the purchase of 2 vehicles and ancillary equipment for use by the Service Department.
Okay, and that also is its first reading. Ordinance 26, 2016.
An ordinance authorizing the lease of 8 vehicles from Statewide Ford and financed through the First Merit Bank and used by the Police Department.
Okay, it's on its first reading. Resolution 27, 2016.
A resolution approving the application submitted by Blue Canyon Management, LLC, for a qualifying major event waiver to serve alcohol beyond the scope of its permit during the Republican National Convention.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt Resolution 27, 2016. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. McFerrin. Any discussion, council? Okay, Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 27, 2016 passes 4-0. Resolution 28, 2016.
A resolution appointing 1 resident member to the Glen Eagles Advisory Board.
Okay. I would like to, you need to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to amend ordinance 28, 2016 to add John Cleveland.
Add the name of John.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Is there any discussion?
We good? Shannon?
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 28, 2016 as amended. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sorese. Okay, any discussion? Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Sorese?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 28, 2016 passes 4-0 as amended. Okay, and that's the end of our legislation tonight. We will move on to unfinished business, new business, and miscellaneous. Mayor, do you have anything?
Nothing for me.
Mr. Maestros?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, and Mrs. Stoffer.
Actually, I do have something. I wanted to, I went to an event this weekend, Sunday. There was my nephew and Sean Davenport. We had a couple of Twinsburg students who received their Eagle Scout Award. So it was the first time I had been to one of those ceremonies, but after looking at the list, I had 7 former students who had become Eagle Scouts. So I actually got emotional at this event, but it was a beautiful ceremony, and seeing parents and students and knowing how hard they had to work to get there. So I'd like to congratulate Brian Stoffer and Sean Davenport on their Eagle Scout Award. And that's all I have.
Okay. Okay. My miscellaneous, we had quite a long report from our engineer, Amy Moore. So I have two motions that I would like to make at this time that we discussed there. The first motion would be to allow ODOT, the ODOT contractor on the State Route 91 Glenwood Drive, to work at night for water line utility installation required as part of the current State Route 91 improvement project. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Stoffer seconds. This project includes shutting down the water for several hours, so this way it gives them the opportunity to shut this off during the nighttime hours, and so the folks there, and especially in the Heinens Plaza, and the residents living along State Route 91 will not be disturbed in the middle of the night by a water shutoff. So, anybody have anything else? Mr. Tracy?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, Amy said she would notify the residents that have Cleveland Water about the evening work. I think she should notify all the residents in the area so they understand the noise and what's going to happen over there.
Okay.
Even though some don't use the water, I think that it will be good for them to know.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Mayor, can you make sure that that happens?
Yeah, I can make sure that happens.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Shannon?
Who is the second?
Mrs. Stoffer.
Stoffer, okay. Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The other motion that I need to make is a motion, well, let me make the motion. Motion to assist the eligible homeowners in Glenwood Acres located on the, did we say we're going to make it east side or?
No, she's all of them.
The whole
Up
east
to
side.
5. We said up to 5.
It'd be all the residents in the Glenwood Acres subdivision that are
Okay, so it's not just
impacted by
east side.
the flood. Yeah. Flood
Okay.
plain.
Located on East Idlewood, in submitting their pre-disaster mitigation grant application.
And go ahead.
Yes.
This is for the first 5. Is that what we
First
said?
5.
Oh, yes, and what we will be doing is 5 per year for as long as the grant is available. So it's the first 5 residents that come to the city and say that they would like to participate, and then we'll do 5 a year, again, for as long as it's available.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Cerisi seconds. Anything else? Anybody have any other discussion? Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Okay. And our next council meeting will be March 22nd, 2016, here at City Hall at 7 o'clock will be the caucus. Council will be at 7:30. Next, we'll move on to Ms. McFerrin.
Well, I wanted to announce that we're going to have the Coyotes in the Community meeting on March 17th here between 7 and 8. Stanley Stein, and there'll be a representative from the Summit County Metro Parks as well presenting. So thank you, Chief Noga, for coordinating that, and hopefully everyone will be able to attend.
What time did you say it was?
7 to 8 on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay. 7 o'clock. Got it. Mr. Cerisi.
I have nothing. Thanks.
Okay. Shannon, anything further?
Did anyone want to mention about the opening for civil service and the zoning issues that are on the election?
Yeah.
Round
Go
about
ahead.
next
You want to
week?
mention that?
I don't have my iPad.
I brought it with me. I don't have it in front of me, though.
Let me see if I can pull it real quick.
You're advertising. We have an opening for
Yeah,
the civil service.
for the civil service, I believe it's cutoff is April 22nd.
22nd. April 22nd at
Friday.
4:30. Anyone
Yep.
interested, it's non-ward specific, so if you're interested in being on our Civil Service Commission, get your request over to Shannon Collins by that date, again, April 22nd at 4:30. And that commission does meet in the morning, 8 or 8:30 on a Wednesday or Thursday. So you'd have to be able to be available in the morning hours, once a month.
And we do have, Shannon mentioned, we do have 3 properties that are up for rezoning that's going to be in the ballot next week. So I believe there's a link on the website that has a
Yep.
further description of that.
Issues 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we need I'd like to make a motion that we excuse our absent members, Councilman Roden, Fury, and Steele tonight.
I'll
Is there a
second.
Mr. Cerisi seconds. Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, I would like to make a motion that we enter into an executive session to discuss matters pursuant the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1 with regards to contract negotiations. We will go into executive session and come back afterwards and adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Stauffer. Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stauffer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.